much for being here. This is Mattel Creations' first time at London Comic Con, and we couldn't be happier to be here with all of you. So thank you so much for coming to our panel. So Mattel Creations is going to be going behind the design with Barbie on our new Doctor Who collaboration. So before we get started, I'll introduce myself. My name is Allison. I work at Mattel Creations, and as a toy collector myself, I love making toys. Today I have the honor and privilege to introduce you to Linda Kyaw. So she is the senior manager of Barbie Design, leading Barbie Signature and the Barbie movie line. She's been with Mattel for over 16 years and has worked across mainline, Signature, and at Barbie Style. Make sure you're following on Instagram if you aren't already on Barbie Style. Linda actually originally started as a face designer while in high school. I'm sure there's a great story with that. So Linda, thank you so much for coming all the way from Los Angeles.
Thank you guys for coming, and it's so great to see everybody. You guys look all amazing. I'm so tired. You guys are giving me energy with your outfits, so thank you for that.
Yeah, the jet lag is real. The jet lag is real coming from LA.
I'm very jet lagged, you guys. I haven't gotten enough sleep in 2 days, but I'm still happy to be here looking at your lovely faces. So let's get started on behind the design. Okay. I'm not the best tech person. Okay. So
You're doing great.
I'm so happy to share with you that every doll that we do at Mattel has an army of people behind it, working from the face painting, doing the face sculpts, basically doing everything from scratch, from creating, again, face paints from scratch, new face sculpts for almost every doll that you see. Everything is done very meticulously, with love, with passion, and I hope you notice that with every doll that we do.
And with craftsmanship.
The craftsmanship, yes. The craftsmanship is very real.
Doll artisans.
I love everything that you're saying. And some of these people have been around for over 20 years. So they really, in my opinion, they are some of the best in the doll industry. And Barbie just actually celebrated her 65th anniversary recently. So there's a lot of fantastic people who's been on the brand for a long time. The next page. Again, just more fun things in craftsmanship. All these colors that you see here are some of her hair fibers. So any hair color I want Barbie to have, I just go in this room filled with different hair colors, and it's a very unusual experience, but very unique experience. So this is just a quick little snapshot of some secrets of Mattel.
I've seen that room before.
Yeah,
it's spectacular.
It's a very exciting room to be in.
It really
relaxing
is.
too. Yeah.
All the different choices. Okay. So let's get into it. So what made Barbie excited about partnering with BBC to bring the 15th Doctor and Ruby Sunday to life in doll form?
I love that question. And, the truth is, why wouldn't we partner with Doctor Who? I mean, I know it's so loved with you guys, and it's such an icon, and it truly is an honor for us to be able to celebrate something like this in Barbie and doll and Ken form.
Amazing. So what's the first step in designing the dolls?
The first step in designing almost any doll is just like for any creative, you start with a mood board or some sort of reference sheet. Now, this reference sheet is basically telling you exactly what you want and what you're imagining. It could be a photo, it could be a Pinterest board, it could be a swatch of fabric. It really doesn't matter. So any inspiration point is always how we start for almost every doll that we work on.
Yeah. And it makes sense because Doctor Who has so much lore and so many assets at this point that you can really, the mood board creates itself.
Totally.
Now let's take a closer look at the dolls.
So I know you guys just saw the real images of the real characters from Doctor Who, but what we normally do is once we get those references, I have a fantastic designer. Her name is Swim. And what she does is she resketches the photograph and creates a doll-like version. And in this doll-like version, she's thinking about things like, okay, the jacket probably needs to be a thinner material because, we're going from a human scale all the way down to an 11.5-inch scale. So there's things that she's thinking about in her head just to make sure that the translation is perfect and that we're still capturing the essence of the character in each one. And again, she's a fantastic artist, and I love looking at her art, and I just wanted to give her a little shout out because, again, it takes an army to create these masterpieces, and she's definitely a master at what she does.
Yeah, there's so much nuance that really goes into the soft goods. Very
Absolutely.
impressive.
Absolutely. Let me go to the next thing. So this is a fun technical little slide, and what we do is we literally take the doll from head to toe. We choose what exact hair fiber that we want to do, to what kind of face paint we're going to do, what kind of expression that it's going to have on his eyes, what kind of fabrics we're calling out for his outfit. Because again, when we take real clothes and we make it into doll form, there's a lot of things that we can't do. So you just can't take your denim jeans that you have that you're wearing and just sew it for a doll. It doesn't work that way. So what we do is we, again, head to toe, we go through each element and we look to see what's the best way we can translate this doll and in the most accurate way that we can do. And if you could look even at the shoe, like it looks like a very simple shoe, but we're going inside, we're calling out the shoelace color, the sole, the paint ops on the side of the shoe, the bottom of the shoe. I mean, those are very, very minor details. But we think for something like this, we think the fans would appreciate it, and just know that we really go into every little detail to make sure that we're authentic and that we're really paying the perfect tribute to the character.
Amazing.
If you look to the right side, what you see is the first version of the hand-painted face. Now, every prototype that we do at Mattel is painted by hand. It's an incredibly hard thing to do. I tried to do it many times. It takes a lot of skill to do. But if you can do it, you guys are very talented if you could do something like that. But again, we look at it from head to toe, and we think about everything. How his eyebrow shape looks like, what kind of eye color he has. Does he have lower eyelashes at the bottom of his eye? So those little things that you would not normally think about, this is our job to think about. And I think all those little details make a difference.
Definitely. Let's bring the dolls out so we can get a closer look out of package. Woo, right by me. Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about what some of your favorite details are?
I mean, if you guys, hopefully you guys are fans. And, if you guys are fans, I think, whenever we try to make things miniature, of how close we try to get to the real one. So whenever you guys get a chance, come up here, take a look. You can feel the fabric. You can look at his face. And I think just trying to be as authentic as we can. And when you look at it, you know right away. I don't even have to tell you who it is. You're like, that's Doctor Who. So I think when you can recognize that quickly, that's something when we know, mission accomplished. So I would say collectively, I think the team did a pretty good job.
Pretty amazing. So you talked a little bit about some of the fashions and how we can't just shrink down denim. There's a lot of technology and things like that goes into it. Can you tell us a little bit more about the outfits? Of course, we had to have the Doctor's iconic long brown coat. What all went into that?
Yeah, so BBC were wonderful partners to work with. They told us exactly what outfit that they wanted us to use. A lot of the promos were around this outfit, and it was such an iconic outfit. So again, it really is about, once we get the reference, making sure that it's the best representation. I take it to a team of literally, I'm not kidding, 20 people, and then they basically dissect every part of it, from what fabrics they're choosing, what paint ops they're using. Is this the right skin color for him? Skin color is very important to us because we want to be representing diversity appropriately. So again, 20 people working on every single doll, and that's just at our US-based office. Once we take it to the manufacturer, now we're talking about hundreds of people working on every single doll.
Amazing. You can get a closer look at the dolls as well.
Just more details.
Yeah, more details.
And if you could see here, there's a clip here because this is truly behind the scenes. This is the stylist just putting his shirt in the perfect place so he photographs well. I totally think that they captured the character and the personality perfectly.
Yeah, what a beautiful face.
And she's got this little cut above her eyebrow, and you can see that she also has it on the doll. So again, those little details that really make a difference for a great partnership.
Amazing.
The packaging. Oh, sorry.
Oh, please go ahead.
And the packaging here, of course, a good package is always a great partner to a great product, helps tell the story. And we really think that the TARDIS is basically a third character in the series. So, of course, we had to include the TARDIS in the package insert. And I think it suits it perfectly. And I hope you agree.
I definitely do. It looks amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, deep fans will know that this is actually not the first Doctor Who from Barbie, as back in 2019, Barbie did celebrate the 13th Doctor and fellow Trailblazer Doctor with the the Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker. Are there any behind-the-scenes stories that you can share from the doll?
Yeah, I mean, this was, as you guys know, this was a very momentous occasion. First female doctor, that's a big deal. So this is something that we wanted to get right. And, she was fantastic to work with. And, one of the things that I did remember about her is she had an earring on her ear. It had to be there. There was no way that it could be left out. So if you look closely into the doll, hopefully you have this doll. The earring is actually molded in the face sculpt because the earring is so small. We couldn't do it separately because it would have been impossible. And because it was such an important factor and it was something that we would never leave off, we included a little earring, because she had requested it and we wanted to do her right.
That's pretty unusual for Barbie, right? To have a molded ear.
Yeah. We hardly do stuff like that. I mean, it's not that we're against it, but, we want to be sure that if we're creating a new molded anything, that there's a good reason for it. And, first female doctor, I would say is a pretty good reason for it.
Got to pull out all the stops.
Exactly.
So those were all of our main questions, but we did want to give fans a chance to ask a Q&A. So before we do the raffle and pick those winners, let's take some questions.
Any questions from anyone about the dolls or about Barbie or our collaboration with Doctor Who? Yeah, here we go.
Hi, you spoke a lot about craftsmanship in terms of like the textiles and stuff.
I'm sorry, could you speak up a little bit?
Yeah, so you mentioned a lot of the craftsmanship for like the textiles for the costumes. With regards to like the face sculpting, do you use like 3D printing or like digital kind of techniques for that?
Ooh, great question.
We used to do all face sculpts by hand. So with clay, it would be done by that. And, over time, we were seeing that it wasn't the most efficient. So whenever we had to make changes, it would just take weeks and weeks at a time. But, we used to do it like that. And now everything is in 3D. So we use a program called Rhino, I believe. Yeah, but it's not the same as the clay, but I think it still does a pretty good job.
Any other questions from anyone?
Love your cosplay, by the way.
Fantastic outfit.
When you're making a doll based off like a real person, how do you find you sort of strike the balance between like realism and sort of stylization and not falling into like uncanniness or anything?
I think that's a really fantastic question. And, I would say, you're not going to like this answer. Sometimes it's just using your gut, and like, I think that probably definitely comes with experience, I would say. And like I think one thing that I've learned a lot from experience is you could take the most beautiful human being in the world, and if you scan their face exactly as is to make it like this, again, the most beautiful person in the world, scanned face, turn it to this size, it's going to look like a raisin. I don't know what it is. Always looks like a raisin. Doesn't matter who it is. So what we do is we find the right balance of what's the feature that really speaks to who they are. Is it their nose? Is it their lip shape? Is it their eyes? So somewhere in between. So the key feature to that person we're looking at, and then the next thing we're looking at is if we take that exact doll and put it in the rest of Barbie's universe, does it look like it belongs? Because we want to be sure she or he doesn't look like a sore thumb, and it looks like it's created by Mattel and not a competitor or just another version of it. So that's two things that we always consider, but it's not always easy. But and sometimes, we do better likenesses than others, but it's also a growing process and a learning process. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we try to get it right as much as we could.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a prioritization that goes into it. And then
Absolutely.
when you're creating a likeness, like how much does the licensor or the talent's feedback come into play?
So whenever we work with a licensor, we always want to make sure they're happy. Because you know, if we had created a doll of anybody here, you would never want a doll out there that you weren't happy with, you know. And I would say, you know, 90% of the time, they are pretty happy. And if they're not fully happy, they are at a place where they understand because we have production limitations. But partnership and their agreement that they're happy with the doll is extremely important to us. So we would never move forward without the happiness of our partners.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about the collaboration. I think that's what makes Mattel Creations and Mattel really special. So, like,
Absolutely.
yeah, taking it very seriously.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then one thing I'll say about collaboration is that we would never work with someone that doesn't love us, and we would never work with someone that we also don't love. So anytime you see us partnering with anyone from Monster High, Hot Wheels, Barbie, anybody, it's because it's a mutual love and respect for each other.
Yep, and that definitely makes the collaboration smoother, and because you're building something together. You're
It's your
creating
baby.
what's next.
It's your created baby.
Exactly. Any more questions?
How long does it take to create one doll?
That's a great question. So usually to take, let's just say I sketched a new doll. So once I sketch the doll and I take it to all my teams, once you see it in the box the way you see it, it takes about maybe a year, a little bit over a year, so maybe about 12 to 14 months. Yeah, no, it takes a very, very long time. And even right now, we're starting to brainstorm 2027. So we try to think ahead. So it's a very weird time frame, but after a while, you get used to it.
Definitely have the experience of forgetting what year we're in because we're planning so far ahead.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll try not to spill any new secrets that's coming out that I'm not supposed to tell you because I'm confused with all the years.
I think that's probably all the questions then, unless anyone had... Oh, here we go.
I just wanted to ask both of you, right? So, what are your personal favorite aspects of the new dolls? Like, what parts of them do you like the best?
I am a big fan of Sherpa, and this jacket is so cute. And even just touching it just now, this is so soft. I want to wear this jacket. I mean, the fact that it doesn't just look pretty, but it feels nice, like, that's a lot of attention to detail that I really respect in fabric. So I really like this jacket.
I would say I'm also a jacket girl. I love a good leather coat, so I mean,
yeah.
who can? It's
And
hard
you
to
gotta
beat
do
that
the
leather
doctor,
jacket.
You got to do the doctor's jacket right. Yeah.
Do you prefer the Doctor doll or the Ruby doll?
Ooh, are we going
I
to
think
start
that's a question for you, actually.
Are we
Who
going to
do
start
you
a
prefer?
fight? Yeah. What do you think?
Which one? Ruby. Very
Ruby.
good choice. Very good choice.
I mean, for me, they're like salt and pepper. You can't
Yeah,
have
they're
one
both
without the
pretty
other,
different, yeah.
and they make each other stronger. So I think they're stronger together.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The answer is both.
Yeah.
I want both.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Any other questions? Here we go.
Link in the front?
New question? No.
Wait, Link has
No.
a question.
Oh, sorry. There we go. I haven't got my glasses on.
I was just wondering, I don't know if you said this already, I got here late, but are you ever do you know if they're ever going to bring back the Star Trek Barbies?
Oh, I wish I can tell you. There may or may not be some prototypes that's sitting in my cabinet. I think we will probably try again another year, but we have made some dolls that were not released that, you know, the timing wasn't right, but Star Trek does come back for us once in a while.
Ooh.
I can just ship them to you if you want.
That was a very generous answer. Y'all are lucky.
Yeah. Okay. Now the thing you've all been waiting for, of course, the raffle.
Raffle
There we
time.
go. Everyone got a raffle ticket that wants to be part of it? Yeah. You haven't got one? Here we go. Here we are. Connor's got one for you there. You need one as well? Here we go. in that one. And then one. Let's go in there. There we go. Everyone else good? Everyone got one? Okay. Best of luck. 4 chances
let's
to
do it.
win. Gotta mix up there. There we go.
And there's 4?
4 chances, yeah.
4 chances to win.
So you can come up and choose the doll that you would like.
Okay. First ticket. 618689. Congratulations! I'll take your ticket.
So the
Yep,
dolls
you
are
got
just
it.
done.
Please choose your prize. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Woo!
I do. This is my favorite part. Okay, next ticket. 618688. 618688. Going once. Going twice. Okay. Still 3 more prizes. 618728. Woo! Congratulations! Thank you. Please choose your prize. Congratulations. All right, 2 more prizes. 618709. 709. Do you have it? You got it? You got it? Come on up, come on up. Thank you so much. Yeah, sure. It's you. Yes, enjoy. Woo! Okay, last one. Six one eight 6 9 7. I heard a yay. Hey. All right, congratulations. Thank you so much. Yep, you're good. Enjoy your prize.
Thank you all.
I really appreciate the commitment to Canon, sir. Thank you.